My terrible sister-in-law made a fake dating profile using my name and sent it to my husband. She was bawling when I confronted her and she said it was just a joke. My sister-in-law and I are not close. Since I married my husband, we never talked decent because she would always avoid or ignore me. I always catch her rolling her eyes whenever I come to my in-laws' house since they live there as well. I thought it was just because she was pregnant at that time, but when her first child came out, nothing changed. One thing that I hate about her attitude is that whenever I bring food for my in-law, she'll always have something mean to say like, "This dish is so bland, I can do better than this," or "It's a good thing that your husband is in the military, there's better food out there." Whenever my in-laws are not around, she'll say, "I don't know what your husband saw in you. I can't see anything special." Then smile like she never said anything offensive. My in-laws can also notice her indifferent attitude towards me and they will just tell me that that's the way she is and that I should try to understand. Yesterday was my niece's first birthday and originally the plan for the cake was for my father-in-law to buy a store-bought cake. When he mentioned he was buying a $50 store-bought cake for the party, I asked if I could bake the birthday cake instead. My father-in-law was thrilled at the idea and requested that it be a surprise to my sister-in-law and brother-in-law. I saw no issue and agreed. I thought this could even be the reason she would warm up to me. Over the past week, I have spent countless hours on this cake and although I did not meet those high expectations, I 100% believe it is better than a store-bought cake. I put a lot of effort into it because the party's theme is cowboys in Texas and it cost me $200 to make it. Yesterday at the party when it was time to bring out the cake, my father-in-law took the cake out of its hiding spot and brought it into the main area of the party. When my brother-in-law saw the cake he had a big smile and seemed really happy, however when my sister-in-law saw the cake she looked mortified. Sister-in-law threw on a fake smile and asked my father-in-law about the cake and probably my father-in-law announced that I was the one who made the cake. My sister-in-law gritted her teeth the entire time we sang happy birthday and refused to even try the cake for the whole party. After I left, I was bombarded with messages from my sister-in-law. The messages were everything from how I intentionally sabotaged her daughter's first birthday party. Because of me, all the photos of her daughter's first birthday are ruined by the stain of my trashy cake. I didn't know what to say so I just screenshot all of the texts and sent them to my husband who is currently overseas for the military. After I did that everything blew up. My husband texted my brother-in-law how his wife is being ungrateful and unreasonable. My in-laws are just trying to play both sides. Every Saturday we usually do a family day but this morning my father-in-law asked me to sit out of this week's family day and I'm crushed. Honestly, I was just trying to be nice and make my niece's birthday even more memorable. I was not trying to take the day away from her but it feels like everyone's against me. After a few weeks, I thought of going to my in-laws' house to talk to them because I felt like this wasn't fair on my part. Everyone is shunning me. Right before I was about to leave, I got a phone call from my husband, and he was extremely upset. He told me he needed to make me aware of his situation. Apparently, sister-in-law sent him a dating profile with my name and pictures. Before I could say anything my husband reassured me he knew it was fake. A few things that tipped him off are screenshots from the profile said less than a mile away when referring to the distance of the user and it was my sister-in-law who found the account. My straight, female, and married sister-in-law just randomly decided to go on Bumble and somehow fell upon my profile even though we live over 100 miles apart. Of course, this made me mad. I don't know why she is trying to slander me. When I got to my in-laws' house, father-in-law rushed out to talk to me. He told me I had every right to be upset but asked me to be the bigger person and not cause any more unnecessary drama. I think my husband already told them. But I don't care at this point, this is not about the cake anymore. She is trying to destroy my marriage. When I got to sister-in-law, initially she denied everything but after about 2 minutes she couldn't keep her story straight. Instead of apologizing she just started bawling her eyes out. She blamed the whole thing on pregnancy hormones and tried to play it off as a joke. My in-laws both pulled me outside to try and get me to calm down. I asked them why they were taking her side. They told me there were no sides and they were just trying to keep the peace. After they said that I lost it and told them keeping the peace it's just an excuse used by enablers. I told them that they had a very important decision to make. If they chose to stand sister-in-law they would lose me as a consequence. They told me they were afraid to lose their grandchild and I responded with, "You're going to lose a set of grandchildren. Either way, it's either going to be the ones in front of you now or the future grandchildren I and husband will have." Then I went home. My brother-in-law thinks me and my husband are severely overreacting and he is actually upset at me for raising my voice at his pregnant wife. He sent a very long angry text message to my husband. To quote part of his text directly, it was just a effing joke. "Your wife had no effing right to talk to my wife like that. She should count herself effing lucky I wasn't there." My husband replied, "What if you're there? You would put your hands on her though you know that this is all because of your ignorant wife? Try and do that and I will hunt you down." His brother then changed his tone and said that this is all a misunderstanding. That I should forgive his wife because everything is a joke. My husband replied, "What part of it is a joke? Do you think that tearing our marriage apart is a joke?" My husband and I are on the same page and we have both agreed to cut contact with his family unless some kind of just consequence for sister-in-law happens.